Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record with you.
My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I don't want to fight. But it's going to be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Fuck that. One more time. Welcome back. They tried to keep us away, but they cannot stop the movement. Hashtag TBV Podcast. We are back bringing you some breaking news, man. Yesterday, there was some rumors that Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz were in the works for November 4th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, which definitely sent the internet wild. But then a couple hours later, Bermane Stiverne releases an article saying that he hired James Prince and Josh Dublin, the powerhouse that Andre Ward uses, Shakur Stevens uses, and Brian Jennings uses. Now, James Prince, he's kind of the Suge Knight of boxing. But before we get into any further details, let me head on out to the Golden State, to everyone's favorite hipster.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. Now, when here it is, the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware, and we're back. Yes, I know we've said it so many times already, but it just feels good. You know, we got the YouTube live chat going. All you guys in the chat that I've just missed and never call in. I miss you. I miss you all. So just glad to be back. Glad to be here on the mic, in the camera, on YouTube again. ABS.-CBN. You go fuck yourselves. We're back. You cannot stop us. A couple housekeeping sort of tips. If this has ever happened again, please follow us on social media so you guys get any sort of information you guys can. Twitter and Instagram are the best ways to follow The Boxing Voice at The Boxing Voice. Please go follow us there. If you want to know what's happening with the show, when shows are going to start, all those extra behind-the-scenes info, best way to figure that out. And obviously go to iTunes and leave a 5-star review and hit that like button. But yes, Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, sort of, shocking the boxing world yesterday. And now the boxing world sort of going back to earth in a way with this Bermane Stiverne news. And now James Prince, the infamous James Prince, now entering the scene. Cannot wait to chop it up with you, Ness, and the callers. Man, we're back. Cannot wait.
Well, I mean, just go ahead and tell me, what do you think this means? James Prince is someone that in the boxing industry, he's known as a doer, someone that gets the job done. You see that he kept Andre Ward nice and cozy throughout the litigations between Team Goosen, and you see that he got him a cushy deal with Rock Nation. Well, we can't even we might as well discuss the rematch that he got him with the Kovalev. So James definitely a good manager, right up there in terms of what he gets done. I want to say right up there with an Al Heyman. May not have the clientele list of an Al Heyman,
but he gets things done.
His name may not be ringing bells like Al Heyman, but he's been within the boxing industry for some time.
And obviously, James Prince has a long history in the music industry, similar to Al Heyman in a way, actually. I believe they actually have some history back in the music industry. But yeah, James Prince, it's funny because if you think about, if he is my manager, I want him to be my manager because he will kick ass, take names, and he'll get what I want. And he's doing that right now with Bermane Stiverne. But I can see why the fans are sort of hating James Prince right now, because he potentially is going to stop a great fight from happening in Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz for us to get a fight that we don't want, a rematch we don't want. But again, that's his job. His job is to manage Bermane Stiverne's career right now. And if we are holding him to the standard of what his job entails, then he's doing an excellent job. Now, if we're holding to the standard of what the fans want, then of course he's not doing that job. But again, his job is not to the fans; it's to Bermane Stiverne. But I hope to God Al Heyman somehow gives him enough money, gets Bermane Stiverne out of the picture, because we don't want that fight. I mean, the boxing world did get happy in a way with Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Even the haters of Deontay Wilder were happy and like, man, this is a good fight. You know, Luis Ortiz has not faced the power of a Deontay Wilder. That is true in the pro ranks. So there's a lot of storylines and question marks on that matchup. And I think everyone in the boxing community in every spectrum loves that fight. So hopefully we get it, to be honest, because that's an amazing card that could be there at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, November 4th. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz is a massive fight.
Well, let's go ahead and discuss some of those questions, right? And I think question number one is, in order for us to get Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, Bermane Stiverne has to be satisfied in some way, shape, or form. Now, according to the reports, Al Heyman is in discussion with Don King. So apparently there are ongoing discussions between Heyman and Don King, who is Stiverne's promoter, to work out some sort of step-aside agreement where Stiverne will receive a reasonable fee to allow Wilder to fight Ortiz moving forward. Now, question number one. Don King is obviously negotiating with Al Heyman for a step-aside fee. Bermane Stiverne is saying, I hired James Prince and Josh Dublin, and I've given my promoter no authority to, go ahead and seek any step-aside money because I don't even want it.
Yep. This definitely seems like Bermane Stiverne trying to protect himself and Don King doing Don King-like things. I mean,
well, what do you mean, Don King-like things? I mean,
Don King negotiated
money before. We've seen step-aside money before, and it's been quite handsome. You know what I mean? Peter Coleman, he's got 500. Adrian Broner at one point got 1.5 to let Maidana fight Mayweather.
Well,
money could be good.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Step-aside money inherently is not bad for the sport. In actuality, I think it's pretty good for the sport because it helps us get
for the sport. I mean, for the fighter. Obviously, for the sport, it's a better thing.
But hold on. Let me finish the point. When I say Don King doing Don King-like things, negotiating for step-aside money when your client, because that's what Bermane Stiverne is his client. He is working for Bermane Stiverne. When Bermane Stiverne has not given the authorization to negotiate that step-aside money, that is Don King-like things.
Yeah, but Matt, look at it this way.
If that is true.
Yeah, but look at it this way, buddy. I mean, if I go and negotiate a TBV deal with a network without talking to you, but come back to you and say, hey, HBO's offering us $25,000 an episode, are you going to be mad? Like, why is Bermane mad that he's negotiating? He's going to come back with an offer. Bermane still has the right as the, client to say, no, I don't like that offer.
True. But again, if you are a fighter and somebody is working for you, think about it that way. Like, somebody is working for you and they go negotiate on your behalf when you don't tell them to, that makes you feel a certain way. Regardless of what they're doing the intent of what they're doing is good. Regardless of that.
I'm looking at it like that. He's trying to get me paid. And if I'm Stiverne.
So regardless of that, Stiverne's going to look at it like, why is Don King, who is Don King? You have to remember that. Don King has all the negative connotations of the boxing world on him and will always have that. When you think my promoter is going negotiating without me, without my permission, I want somebody on my side. Because it seems like my promoter is not on my side.
I hear you.
My promoter is not helping me get the fight that I want. Because Bermane Stiverne, in all actuality, wants this fight. Bermane Stiverne has made it very clear he does not want step-aside money.
I hear you, but, as a conscious boxing fan, I don't see what trouble Bermane presented in the first fight that can somehow tell me.
But me and you are thinking of different things.
Fight. No, I know we're thinking of different things. I'm moving on.
Okay.
The second fight would be any better. With that in question, you know, if I don't think he'll win a rematch, the networks feel the same because this fight was on air in 2015 on Showtime, and they're not interested second time around. So Bermane, his quote and his team are saying that the television issue, it's not our fault. I mean, it's not our problem. So he wants a mandatory regardless of whether it's on television or not. And where does that put Deontay Wilder? I mean, because obviously Wilder can do some sort of business in his hometown and get a hometown Bermane Stiverne defense non-televised. But I mean, does Showtime really pass up on a Wilder defense right now at this point?
No, but I can see them passing up on this.
Well, that's an oxymoron if I've heard one. No, but they'll pass up on this. This is a Wilder defense.
Yeah, but it's a Wilder defense that no one cares about in a way. Like I think less people care about this fight than the Gerald Washington fight.
I believe so. Washington was at least something new. And just to give you the accurate quote, they go on to say that the TV situation, and I quote, their problem, not ours. So, yeah, I don't know. I
can see why they have that mindset of it's not our problem, it's theirs. Like we position ourselves to get the mandatory fight against you. Take the fight because we're the mandatory, and you guys figure it out. You're the A sides. But we worked ourselves into this position. Regardless of whether they actually fought to get that position, they had worked themselves to get into that mandatory spot. So I can see why they have that mindset. But again, I feel like the fans are getting the shit end of the stick.
But, you know, work themselves into that spot. That is a very loose term there because Bermane hasn't really earned.
No, he has not earned it. But he definitely used politics and the sanctioning bodies to get that mandatory spot. He was smart. He used Povetkin's own drug failure to make sure that he got that mandatory spot regardless. I mean, I can't fault him for that. I can't. If I'm in his shoes, I would have done the same thing.
Well, the Barclays Center has been reserved for 2 dates, October 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, October 14th and November 4th. And all rumors are pointing towards November 4th, where Al Haymon's PBC Premier Boxing Champions will air this Wilder Luis Ortiz. Now, is New York, Brooklyn, is that a thing of maybe Luis Ortiz's team saying, hey, we want some neutral territory, we want some fairgrounds, we don't want to go to Wilder's backyard because, you know, I'm pretty sure they'll sell it out. Lou's been doing well in Brooklyn, and he's always the lead promoter here on the East. And he makes sure that, you know, that thing is always at least 8,000 and above on whatever, you know, PBC card they do. But is this not better suited in Wilder's hometown? Has he not shown that he's already a draw? And Luis Ortiz being Cuban with no fan base to speak of, I mean, do we really cater to him, or do we look for what looks best on television and what makes the most sense economically?
Well, big fights will always sort of be positioned in big markets. And this, whether you may not think about Ness, is a big fight. So they're going to try a position in a Vegas, LA, New York, a big market. Do I think that's not necessarily the greatest idea? Maybe, but I can see why they're doing that because, again, there's only going to be 2 locations for a potential showdown between Wilder and Joshua down the line, and that is Vegas and New York. Those are the only 2 locations for that fight in the U.S., at least, not in the U.K. So I can see why they're going to push Wilder in the New York market because down the line, he could fight somebody else bigger in that market for really big money. But again, I think putting fighters in regional areas where they can sell well, like a Terrence Crawford, makes a lot of sense. Though I think maybe moving Wilder a little bit farther from his hometown in Alabama because the market's so small, maybe like in Atlanta. If Wilder can set up a market in Atlanta, which is still the South, I think that would make a lot of sense. That's a big market. It's a big media capital. It's a big music capital. I think Wilder fights should be in Atlanta, Georgia going forward instead of New York or Tuscaloosa or Vegas. That makes a lot of sense to me.
How many more seats you think are sold in Georgia versus?
It's not about the seats being
Birmingham.
sold. It's not because you're thinking too narrow-minded. It's not about number of people there. It's about exposure. That the market in Atlanta is just so much bigger than Birmingham. The cultural influence that Atlanta holds over the U.S. music, pop culture is drastic. It is. Atlanta is almost like the new New York City from the 90s. Like, we have to admit that. Like, Atlanta is booming. So it makes a lot of sense if you're an African-American from the South to start making your headway in Atlanta. It makes perfect sense. You can attach yourself to so many different megastars that are from Atlanta, that live in Atlanta, that you can easily propel yourself to more mainstream status just by exposure. Same way Adrian Broner did it. Adrian Broner left Ohio and went to the South. He went to Atlanta. He hung out with Migos. He hung out with Nicki Minaj. He hung out with T.I. and all these people. He's hung out with tons of people from the South to help him grow. And that makes sense. I think Deontay Wilder should do the same.
Now, legally, if Bermane Stiverne wanted to do something, does that technically stop the fight? Because whenever you do anything legally, you got to put in motions. You have to file complaints.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily, stop you from doing business. You have to actually put like a stop and cease or something for like Wilder not to continue his business, even though, Bermane Stiverne and his legal team want to stop this. Because how does the WBC ruling go? There is no date given on the mandatory or time frame. So isn't it up to the fighter's discretion, or how is that? I mean, shouldn't the sanctioning body say, you got 90 days to negotiate, or et cetera, et cetera? We've seen those type of terms in the media in the past. Why not with this situation? Why are they giving Wilder all this, leeway?
Well, one thing, the WBC has never been the greatest at transparency. So maybe there have been extensions that have been offered and accepted. That's very possible. We just haven't really heard about it. But though I do find that kind of doubtful. I have to go back and read the WBC's rules and regulations on mandatories and negotiation periods. I believe there is a window, though. I think it's like a 90-day period. I think the mandatory window is usually longer than the voluntary window as well, for voluntary defenses versus mandatory defenses. In terms of lawsuits and if that could stop like a Wilder-Ortiz fight, if Wilder and Ortiz were just to go ahead, there have been precedents of fights having to be stopped. There's also been precedents of fights continuing. Those usually outweigh or outnumber the cases of fights being stopped due to motions of cease and desist. So I would assume if that happens, if somehow Wilder and Ortiz scheduled the fight, regardless of Bermane Stiverne and Prince file motions for stop and desist, they file all these motions. I feel like the fight would probably go on, to be 100% honest. That might have some ramifications post-fight. But again, I don't know what's going to happen here. I think there's so many big players involved here. Al Heyman, James Prince, Don King, Lou DiBella, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, Bermane Stiverne, a lot of moving pieces here that I really don't know how it's going to play out, to be completely honest. I have really no solid predictions on what we're going to get. If I have to guess, I still think we're going to get Bermane Stiverne.
Yeah, I think your guess is probably wrong, just based on Wilder, right? Wilder has been very persistent in his social media posts, certain hashtags that he's using, emphasizing that something is happening this year. Something's big to come. If you're riding with me, ride with me. If you're not, you're going to look stupid, et cetera, et cetera.
That's true.
So I'm assuming that he's tired. He expresses that in his social media posts as well.
He looks frustrated.
The frustration with the fans not believing in him, and him, wanting to prove his position. So I think that like we ask of our fighters, I think he decided I am the boss, I am the brand, and is telling his handlers what he wants, similar to Porter, Thurman, and people of that nature is what I assume. If he's been saying something big is coming, it can't be a mandatory with Bermane. That's not big.
I'll put it this way. If James Prince did not enter this story, I would say you're absolutely right. That if it was just Don King and Al Heyman negotiating, I would say Al Heyman's going to win hands down that negotiation table. But once you enter James Prince, it becomes different. It does. James Prince entering this entire situation makes it very much more complicated.
Prince means nothing to me other than the step aside money would be greater. Now he has a better manager to negotiate for him, and the money will be greater. That's all that I can think of.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, you may be right, especially if Stiverne does take step aside money. James Prince entering the situation means that he probably got a lot more.
I mean, you're Stiverne. You're Stiverne. Well, you can't be Stiverne. You're Stiverne on the outside looking in. Isn't it better to take the fucking step aside money and then get the fight later? That's 2 paydays. I mean, again, because we're basing it off the rematch. I mean, we're basing it off the first fight, Stiverne. It's like if he was competitive, then it's like, oh, it wasn't Mayweather Maidana, and I didn't even think that deserved the rematch. You understand what I'm saying? Where I'm going with this here? Like, this definitely wasn't Kovalev Ward, So it's like, yo, they're kind of hand feeding you a paycheck right now. Take that, come back, And for Wilder, why are you doing this anyway? Like, why are you paying this guy step aside money? Like, the fans are not gonna be fickle. As soon as you beat Ortiz, you have to fight Bermane anyway. And these same fans that don't like the Bermane Stiverne fight, it's not like they're gonna all of a sudden say, well, he did fight Ortiz. Fuck it, man. He's got to handle his mandatory. No, they're gonna be like, man, it's mandatory. We've seen this shit. He just fought Ortiz. It's a step backwards. Come on. I mean, is this lose-lose? What is a guy to do now?
If I'm Wilder, because I think that's the better question. If I'm Wilder and I want to give Stiverne step aside money, why? They might just to fight him down the line, or is it to hope that he loses? Is it to hope that Stiverne takes an intermediate fight against somebody and he loses, and I don't have to fight him? That's the hope of Wilder.
That plan actually doesn't make any sense, because if you're going to step aside money from Al Heyman with James Prince as your manager, you're going to get enough money not to have some sort of in-between Derek Rossi get dropped on your ass in New York City that nobody's seen on TV fight. If you're Bermane Stiverne, you're just not going to do that. You're going to sit around like Peter Quillen, take your $500,000, the Peter Quillen receipt for stepping aside on Korobov, and chill with your family and build. That, I mean, again, you can't have that mindset. You can't stay in the gym and say, you know what, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to use this, as motivation and stay in the gym. But I don't know. I don't know about actually taking a fight and losing, and that being Wilder's plan. Like, oh, I hope he loses to someone else. Because in the interim, who's he going to fight that he's really going to lose to? He's going to have to get a sexy fight. Now, they can wet his whistle the way they did Victor Postal. When they paid Victor Postal step aside money versus Danny Garcia, you know what I mean? They put him on the undercard. So they can do that. They can give Bermane Stiverne step aside money, undercard his ass versus who? I like Azunu. I like him.
Brazil.
True.
Brazil's coming off a win.
Yeah, and build that storyline. But last we heard there was some sort of litigations. Maybe those
White, maybe.
No, but yeah, I mean, I'm just saying the litigations. Maybe those two are not even allowed in the same room anymore. You know what I mean? Restraining orders and shit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're 100% right.
White does want to make his U.S. appearance. That sounds plausible. Listen, I think we chopped it up enough. It's time to head on out to our sponsors and definitely give them a thanks, and head on out to our listeners on the line.
Fight fans, Don't leave the decision in the hands of the judges. Download the Throwdown scoring app and receive live scoring, CompuBox stats, boxing predictions from other users around the world. Head over to your iPhone App Store or your Google Play Store and download it absolutely free.
Remember that number, 1-425-569-5241. TBV is back. Hashtag TBV podcast. Skype callers, international callers. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. You must add to be part of the call. We're going out to Coach Mitty in the UK. What's going on, my friend?
Hello.
What's up, Mitty?
Hey, Nez. Hey, Matt. How you doing, guys?
We're good. Happy to be back.
I'm good too. Listen, I you know me, like negotiation and fight down the road. I like listening, but I much prefer talking about the fights that have actually happened and the action in the ring, like the negotiation and the business outside the ring. I'm not too good at understanding what's happening, so I don't know if I can add or contribute anything to you guys, but I'm listening to you guys. The only heavyweight fight I'm interested in right now is Nestor Gibbs, aka Young Ali, versus Zach. So that's what I'm waiting for, man.
Mitty, I'm gonna actually address that because I seen your comment, and I cannot type that much, so I'll tell you this. We hired a film crew that didn't work out. The situation with Warren, so all that burden fell on the shoulders of Enrique. So I see hands of stone.
He just got a big job, by the way. Enrique is currently on set right now on another job, so that's why it's taking a bit.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a bit of a delay. Like again, we hired a film company so that we didn't have to record, so we didn't have to edit. But things happen. I know you said I should have a contingency plan, but who the hell? First of all, who could afford? First of all, two film crews, one just being backup. There's no way I could afford that.
Yeah, I'm not digging at you or anything right now. I was actually looking for an explanation because I've read everything and I know where we stand right now. So good. I'm just saying that I like action in the ring, so that's what I'm like desperate to see, right? Like,
believe me though, I have my fight and I'm trying to convince Enrique to put it out last, just for sheer embarrassment.
I hear you. I don't think you lost, though, man. I don't believe that, man. I know that you guys trying to keep us like guessing, but I just don't believe that you lost that. But I'm very surprised. I would be very, very surprised if the upset is Doomsday. So I'm confused as to what the upset is, but whatever.
Well, Coach Mitty, man, thanks for calling in. We're going to get to some other callers, but as soon as Enrique's ready, we will have that out. And if you don't know what we're talking about, obviously it is Border Wars. Hashtag Border Wars on Instagram, Twitter, or any of your social medias to find out and get all caught up to date. Or head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Border Wars is obviously where all our co-hosts and a couple of our fans met up and had a fight card of their own. But let's head on out to some of these callers. I want to get out to Class and Bound out in Texas. Class and Bound, talk to us.
Hey, how's it going? So, yeah, I heard the news yesterday, the rumor mill. Honestly, this fight is fantastic if it happens. If I'm Wilder, with Al Heyman too, now that he's able to work with Hearns, because he was able to get Dominic Breazeale, AJ. So what I'm thinking is get Deontay Wilder, pay step-aside money to Bermane Stiverne, have the Luis Ortiz and Wilder fight happen, and while that's going off, have Dylan White somehow become a challenger to Bermane Stiverne for the #1 contender spot for the WBC. That way you knock out two birds with one stone, and if you can't get Dylan White, get Dominic Breazeale, I guess. Get Stiverne to actually earn his keep because he hasn't fought in a while. So I'd like to see Dylan White versus honestly, I would like to see Dylan White versus Bermane Stiverne because, like I said, Dylan White wants to fight too. So if he wins, he can get that shot at Wilder. If he doesn't win, Bermane Stiverne gets his rematch, and then we still get Luis Ortiz Wilder, and whoever wins, those two fight, and then Joshua can take care of business with Vlad. Then he's mostly going to get a unification with Parker, and then by next year, we have the big mega fight between the WBC champion and then whoever wins between Joshua and Parker. But what do y'all think?
Well, I definitely like your idea, and it really does make sense in terms of Dylan White stepping in and some sort of mandatory with Bermane, since they're both ranked high. That can make some sense. Maybe they can throw the WBC enough money to have them mandate another WBC interim eliminator, kind of how they're doing with Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. So, again, your idea makes perfect sense. Let's hope that they hear that and implement it. Class and Bound, what about James Prince and Josh Dublin, the powerhouse that works with Andre Ward and obviously has helped them with litigations with Andre Ward, you know, and even Brian Jennings, who just now signed a Top Rank courtesy of James Prince, Shakur Stevens with the big deal with Top Ranks, and James Prince swooping in and stealing him from Floyd Mayweather. So we know that he's a capable manager. Can he put that roadblock in this Ortiz Wilder fight? Because that is another element here that you haven't discussed.
Well, can he? Yeah, he can. But will he? I think since he's the manager, I think he's in a position to, I think he gains more if Stiverne does take the step-aside money, because we've already seen the first fight. Stiverne presented no challenge to Wilder, and I think he already knows this. So if he were smart, he would just have Stiverne take the step-aside money, take the fight with Dylan White or Dominic Breazeale, a fighter he could actually beat and be competitive with, and afterwards, if Wilder or Ortiz are left standing, you take that money fight with him because he'd still be the mandatory anyway.
Well, Class and Bound, very good call. Thank you for calling in. And I hope to see you on the next immediate reaction for Border Wars. I've seen you updated. Well, I want to thank you as well for that. JD in Texas, man, it's been a long time since we talked to Mr. JD. But I know his ears are burning, Matt. He's being called out all types of ways and stuff like that. But that's obviously for another day, for sure. Just good to have him back. Let's get to him. JD in Texas.
JD, motherfucker. There's a lot of things I like to do, so just try to get on my games on my man. I don't know why they don't call me, but I'm a 54-pounder. But I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? It has been a while. Man, real quick, you know, with this Bermane Stiverne, it's pissing me off so much. It's like this guy, he's, I mean, he wasn't even competitive in the first fight, right? Like, what's the point? Well, like, can't you move on? You know what I'm saying? He actually, like, trying to hurt the heavyweight division by doing that. Like, let it progress, let it move on. And yeah, as far as Wilder, right? And I ran into Charlo the other day at the lake, and I told him the same exact thing. Like, they need to take, as far as promoting themselves, like if PBC's not doing it, or whoever, you know, the promotional.
Wait. Which Charlo? Which Charlo? The nice one or the bad one?
I ran into. Well, they both nice to me. You know, I've been saying that, but I ran into Jamal.
Oh.
I ran into Jamal.
The bad boy of boxing.
I told Jamal this. I said, look. Yeah, I told him this. I said, look, if these guys not promoting y'all right, maybe you ought to come out of pocket. And to me, it's a good suggestion, because I went to school for, like, you know, marketing, and what it is something called target market. And what you want to target is people that's going to actual, like, Houston Rockets games. Have them play, you know, the highlights, and let them know, you know what I'm saying, that, hey, we have a world champion or two world champions in the city of Houston. You know what I mean? And not even just the, you know, the Astros games, all this. Have y'all highlights just plastering so people can start knowing who y'all are. You know what I'm saying? And if you got to come out of pocket, then hey, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? Because next thing you know, you got venue, you got you know, the Charlos selling out the Toyota Center right here in Houston. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a suggestion for like all the fighters, like Deontay Wilder in Alabama. You know, they got a big football team. Show some highlights. Let them know they got a world champion right there in Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely do that in Alabama, bro. I've seen videos and stuff playing, you know, and they have a lot of stuff going on with him in the colleges as well with Wilder, you know what I mean? But with the Charlos, I wonder would the egos get in the way of like all three, Earl and the two twins, Charlos, having a card together? Because that would obviously ensure that it's a sellout.
You know what? Earl is actually in a better situation, right? Because he's right there in Dallas. Now, just imagine showing that on the big screen, highlights of Earl Spence at the Cowboy Stadium. Now, you know, just off the Cowboys alone, they got a shitload of fans. I mean, they all over the fucking world. I don't even know how that's even possible. But anyway, just imagine that. And at the Dallas Mavericks game, they need to, I don't know, I just see it as perfect marketing strategy to you know, to get more fans. But King Kong, I hope this fight happen, man. I really do. It'll be good for boxing, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be perfect for Deontay Wilder if he can win that fight. But I don't think he will be able to.
What about that element with James Prince now stepping in and Josh Dublin, the attorney, are now part of Bermane Stiverne's, you know, powerhouse team?
Man, that makes me nervous because Jay Prince, I don't know how he do it, but he's been doing it forever. He's been strong-arming the music game, strong-arming, you know, I don't know. It's like people don't mess with that dude for some reason. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good look for Deontay. You know, putting him as manager, man. Like I said, the dude be strong arming the fucking game. Like he got, I don't know, some type of mafia shit going on.
Well, all right. Listen, JD, man, I want to thank you obviously for calling in, and definitely can't wait to see if we get you on one of those Border Wars immediate reaction shows once the next fight drops. Let's go out to the UK to our very own Rob in the UK.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, then yeah, you predict he's gonna beat me. He got smashed.
Why isn't Wilder sold out 90,000? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
TBV's back.
What's
back
up?
again. How you doing?
What's up, Rob? Man, that intro gets me pumped. I'm over here still head nodding. Again, I'm bopping. I'm happy with the intro. I'm happy to be back on the tube. Talk to me, man. James Prince and his powerhouse attorney, Josh Dublin, they're part of Stiverne's team. Are they going to put a roadblock in Wilder finally showing that he's at the top?
Well, I mean, I just need you to explain something to me, really, because, you know, the whole Dillian White call out and all that, you know, the Eddie Earn hot offer that Deontay declined. And is he really going to make as much money if he gets the Ortiz fight? Is he going to get that? And, you know, the exposure in the UK, if it happened over here with Dillian, you know, common opponent in Josh, who are down the line, maybe. They're both going to have history there. I just don't get, like, whether it's just, you know, the sidestep of Dillian White for some reason and the big money. You know, was offered such big money to take it, but he's declined that and he's going for Ortiz. I mean, I think Dillian's ranked 2 in one division and Stiverne's obviously is mandatory.
But yeah, I just don't get the change of direction away from Dillian White and where the money that he could have made from just this fight. And he was saying it'd be easy work, where Dillian's a bum. But
the only thing I could think of is he's going for the glory instead of the money. I mean, I think that the fight fans would perceive Luis Ortiz as a more dangerous fight, and maybe in his mind he feels he'll get more credit. Matt, what's your thoughts? It is true. Why go the Luis Ortiz, Bermane Stiverne route when you have a guy offering you $3 million and he seems like easy work?
It's exactly the reason why Bermane Stiverne doesn't want to take step-aside money. Both guys want to create a legacy for themselves. Bermane Stiverne doesn't want to take that step-aside money because he wants that title back. He wants that loss back. Deontay Wilder doesn't want Stiverne because he doesn't want White because he wants a fight that's going to legitimize his career, going to legitimize his belt, his title reign. Because right now people are saying that he's not a real champ in a sense. People are saying that. People are saying that he's the worst boxer out of the top of the heavyweight division. He wants to go and prove them wrong. He's heard that for years at this point. And he's had to fight Spielkas, Duhapases, and Eric Molinas and all those guys. He wanted Luis Ortiz. Because right now that is the biggest scalp you can get on your belt that doesn't have a fight lined up. Everyone else has a fight lined up at the top. Parker, Joshua, Klitschko, everyone has a fight lined up. It's only Ortiz. He's the last guy on the list, so to speak. So yeah, I think that's why Wilder wants that fight. The same exact reason why Stiverne won't take step-aside money.
There you have it, Rob. Do you buy it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't want to, taint Wilder's character and what he's about. If it is purely, he wants these bigger names, and maybe Dillian White isn't that. But there's legacy, and then there's also, an American heavyweight champion coming to the UK and taking on the home crowd when it's being perceived at the minute that the UK is the home of boxing. This is a heavyweight that could come over and say, listen, you really think that? Look what I've just done to your boy. And I think that's a bold statement in itself as well. And he's picking up a huge paycheck. But don't get me wrong, I'm not champing at the bit to see Dillian White get a title shot or anything like that, because I don't personally rate him, and I think the guy's a bit of an ass. But just as a business thing and money, but if it is about legacy, then all credit to Wilder. I take back all the comments of bum squad and anything I've ever said. But yeah, I just wanted your views on ducking out on the big money offer from Eddie Hearn. But keep the show rolling, guys, and I'll speak to you maybe later if a fight drops, and I'll give my opinions on that, and maybe give Jose a bit of shit that day as well.
All right, Rob. Well, thanks as always for calling in and for the support. We're gonna head on out to our pound for pounder, Dre. What up?
What up, guys? What's going on? Good to see you back.
Glad to be here.
All right, Ness, I gotta ask you a question, man, because you spend time with Wilder, man. Is it more his legacy historical point for him, or money in regards to where his career is gonna go at this point? Because if it was about for money, I would think he'd go overseas. But is he more towards historical purposes, or is just trying to stay relevant? I don't know. You spend time with the guy. Where do you see his mindset is as far as his sport and his legacy?
I mean, I have an interview out that is has been doing well. It's already old, probably a year out now, in his gym, where he discusses more about legacy, because the money's going to come. He knows who he's signed to, so he knows that that's always going to be a part of it. But you could hear it in his voice when he speaks his unification. But I think that he needs these fights. He needs these type of fights so that he can legitimize himself, like Matt said, because he's right. I mean, they're not calling any other heavyweight a bum. I mean, this guy's nickname amongst, whether you call them trolls or hater fans, I don't know what you want to call them, just negative people or honest people. But I mean, they changed his name to Bum Squad, right? So, he's got to do something, and I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to try to change public perception, but that could be dangerous, especially with such a dangerous foe who's a southpaw. I mean, when's the last time this guy's fought a southpaw? You know, he could get caught with something. He's been down before. So I don't know.
I don't know. In regards to Jay Prince, man, he kind of scares me, man, because even in the entertainment world, man, he's a strong figure in the political world down in Houston, and he does not back down. He's gotten money for public housing for people in Houston, man. He's not a guy that's going to take an easy buyout. So I won't be surprised, man. He's going to drag this out, get as much as he can. I think he's the Suge Knight, I think, of boxing. He's not going to take no shit in regards to an offer. You know, I have family in Houston. I'm going to Houston Friday, so I already know what the man has done in the community. Man, I hope he doesn't put an ankle in the ground with Wayne Haley. So, yeah, man. So I hope he doesn't hold us up. Get Stiverne a good payday, man. Buyout money, but man, he might be a problem if he gets any more boxes. So that's about it, man. Good to see you guys back, man. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Dre, thank you as always. Matt, man, you know, I wanted to holler at Mauricio, man. He could really clear this up.
Yes, he could.
He could tell us what.
But let's be honest, Mauricio and the WBC kind of screwed up by making Bermane Stiverne the mandatory without fighting. Put the fans.
Well, he had
Wilder in a position none of us want to be in.
Yeah, well, that came from the drawn out affair of Povetkin is what caused that. But let's keep these lines moving. Marcus in DC, talk to us.
So man, stop trying to steal my thunder, man. Yo, what's good, Boxing Voice, man? Yo, the real bigger picture is, man, how did somebody become the mandatory after losing to the champion 10 months later by fighting Derek Rossi? Come on. I don't care what was happening with the Povetkin and all that other shit. Make them fight Takam. You just don't become the number one again fighting Derek Rossi. It just doesn't make sense to me. And within the calendar year, you become the number one again? What's that saying about the rest of the people ranked in the top 10 in the WBC? Come on, Moro. Moro, you usually get it right, but you're getting it wrong this time. Yo, the other part, big picture, as far as Dubin and Prince, it only determines one thing. One, that Wilder's decision is either going to be pay an absorbent amount of money or give up the title. Because giving up the title is an option, too, because I don't think anybody in the world sees Bermane Stiverne with the heavyweight championship and thinks, oh, my God, they go to heavyweight champion of the world. So I think a lot of us are getting too much pushed into what Prince and Dubin can do. Only thing I think Prince and Dubin will do is make sure that it's not one of those bullshit step-asides like Gennady went through for 3 years, going from Martinez to Cotto to Canelo, and then finally getting a fight 4 years later, having had been the mandatory for all that time. I think that's the only thing that Prince and Dubin bring into the play is that the mandatory status that Bermane has won't drag on. But other than that, I think Bermane is foolish if he doesn't think Wilder will give that title up, fight Luis Ortiz, get a big win, and then possibly be able to go unify against Joshua over there in 90,000 Stadium, fucks the burn, and he can have the belt. You know, that's the only thing I can think that they're not thinking about is Deontay will give the belt up. Fuck that belt if it's for a bigger picture because fuck he want to fight Stiverne again for it. He's a bum, man. He's a bum, man. Cut his dreads, man. Them shits be holding his head back. That's my call, man.
Yeah. Yeah, hilarious. You know, Matt, we didn't even consider that option, but I'm going to up his option one. I'm going to say they give him emeritus status like they gave Martinez.
No, come on.
Yeah.
I hope not. Then what's the point of these titles? Like, then it's like really like no one has a fucking argument.
No, look, I don't know if you know how emeritus works. Like, all that means is that when he comes back, he has an opportunity to fight versus the champion.
Yo, Mayweather's still the emeritus champion. Come on.
Exactly. And when he comes back, he deserve an opportunity? If Mayweather came back to legitimate 147, wouldn't you want him to face Thurman, whoever, Earl, or Jeff Horn?
I've always been of the mindset that the fighter makes the belt doesn't make the fighter.
Yo, that's the top of the top. Stop being a hypocrite.
So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, drop the title. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care. All the casual fans that try to keep, pay attention to titles, they're going to be confused because they will always be confused by this bullshit. Ringing the bell on me.
That's an old bell from the last caller. But Yeah, emeritus status. Maybe that is it. You know, let Bermane go ahead and fight, right? He might go, because that's what you can do now. That even sounds better, Wilder. Do this. Go ahead and get that emeritus status. Let Dillian Whyte and Stiverne fight. Hope that Dillian Whyte wins while you go fight Ortiz for no title. Beat Ortiz, come back, unify, or get that Dillian Whyte fight. But then Dillian Whyte becomes the A side, I guess, because he's the WBC in the UK with the fans. I don't know. So many choices to make. Joshua in New Orleans, talk to us.
Hey, what up, boys? It's been a minute. But my drop on this is Bermane Stiverne. He had no business being in the midst of talking about fighting Deontay Wilder. Like, it's too soon. He just took a L against him. With the management crew he just recruited, that is going to be a problem. However, they do get things done the way they want them done, so that works in his favor. So it looks like Deontay Wilder going to have to fight Stiverne. And I don't think he's going to give up that belt. I don't think that's an option for him. Deontay Wilder is, like that WBC belt, because he feels as though it's the most wanted belt in the heavyweight division, and go back to a lot of history with it and stuff like that. The president did drop the ball on this one by allowing Stiverne to walk his way back up to the top like that, and then now he was fighting the competition, even though Povetkin did cheat, and then he forced somebody to just put him in there. He shouldn't be in the talks of a number one contender or the next person in line. For the fighting Ortiz, that's a great move on Deontay Wilder. I really think Luis Ortiz is was like the Errol Spence, not age-wise, but for as nobody wanted to fight him in a weight division. So by him fighting that dude, he's just showing that what he's trying to do and what he really about. Because Anthony Joshua ducked Luis Ortiz and all stayed away from him. One, by picking him up a few years back. Two, by just making the Joshua didn't get exposed by him. So it's a shame Deontay Wilder have to pick up Anthony Joshua lightweight, and Joshua wants no part of Luis Ortiz. And all them UK fans that was making them excuses for Joshua and avoiding him, they just knew that Luis Ortiz was gonna knock Joshua ass out, and then we went Joshua had a reason and everything. But I applaud Deontay Wilder if he's serious about this Luis Ortiz business, but I don't think it's gonna go through. But Bermane Stiverne gonna get in the way of that, and they're gonna prevent that from happening. So he's gonna have to fight him next or something. That's my call.
All right, Joshua. Well, thanks for calling in. Gabe in Salt Lake City, talk to us.
Oh, I heard the message thing. Should I go?
You go, Gabe. No, Gabe, you can go. It's okay. It can wait after your call.
Okay, cool. Man, I've been very critical of Deontay Wilder, kind of putting him in that same category as Adonis Stevenson. You know, like they're taking fights and getting paid well. But, man, if Deontay Wilder does this fight, I got new respect for him. Automatically becomes my favorite heavyweight. I've been waiting for a reason to root for him, and this would be it. In my opinion, the top four heavyweights: Joshua, Klitschko, Wilder, Ortiz. I know Parker has the title, but I think Ortiz is a little better than Parker just by the eye test. If that does happen, that'd be great. I think another caller already mentioned this about let's have those four fights happen. The Deontay Wilder winner fights Stiverne. The Klitschko AJ winner fights Parker, and then they meet early 2018 or mid 2018. That'd be the dream scenario for to happen. And I'm talking about Jay Prince, man. By the sounds of all these callers, man, he sounded like the new Al Heyman in this boxing world. Man, he got all these connections. He's a best negotiator. But I really haven't seen it from Jay Prince, only with Andre Ward. But, that's my call. I'm still a little salty I don't get to see those border wars, but I think it's time for my cheap ass to upgrade. I've been wanting to upgrade to the $7 live fight chats anyway, so I think that time's going to come. TBV, keep doing what you do, man. Thanks.
Gabe, thank you, brother. We're going out to...
Hold on. Very quickly, before we go to the next caller, a couple ways to support The Boxing Voice other than patreon.com/TheBoxingVoice. You can go to TheBoxingVoice.com/sponsors. There you can find Amazon links, Audible links, a couple other links to famous websites or, favorite websites by most of us. Costs you absolutely nothing. You can do all your shopping on Amazon.com. Go buy books from Audible, and we get a kickback from it. That's absolutely free for you guys. And of course, go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to support us in full and get hours and hours of extra exclusive content. And of course, go to iTunes and leave a 5-star review and hit that like and share button.
All right. Well, let me head on out to Sambrano. Sambrano, what's up?
How you doing? Just giving you guys a call. I had a little insight with the Deontay Wilder camp for Gerald Washington and some of the habits that he had going on. In particular, he let Russ Abner go, who's the owner of Rival Boxing. And I guess one of the things that they were having dilemmas with was that Deontay only trained six times for that fight. So I question his dedication to his craft and whether or not he knows that he has the equalizer with the power, and whether or not he's really out there to make a statement and to be a legend, or if he's just out there making money, Yo.
You're saying is who out there to just make money?
Well, with Deontay, particularly, with Deontay, I've heard rumors from his camp. I don't know whether or not he's out there to, when I think about people that want to be legends as far as and hold that title, I don't necessarily think he's one of these guys that's out there trying to be, to have a title like, the Klitschko's did for 9.5 years, to actually be out there. And I see that with that young man, Anthony Joshua, too. No matter what we said about Anthony Joshua, this is a guy that I think everybody can see because of his dedication and his hard work. But there's a very much a possibility that he's going to have a title for the next 10 years. I mean, you wouldn't be shocked with that. But Deontay, with everything that comes out, and
whoa!
I can't see that.
Hold on. What gives you the impression that Anthony Joshua has a different type of hard work and dedication?
I mean, he has bigger muscles, man. Come on.
I mean, it's not just the muscles. I mean, I trained a heavyweight that fought Deontay Wilder, and I trained a heavyweight that was in camp with Klitschko, and when Joshua used to be in the camp with Klitschko a long time ago. But first, everybody wants to hate Anthony Joshua. Shit, I want to hate him. I mean, he's good looking. He's an Olympian. He's got muscles. You don't want to root for the guy because the guy kind of has everything, and this is just fact. But I asked a particular fighter, I said, "Can you tell me about the man? Tell me about his habits." He said, "Look, man, this is a guy that still lives at home with his mom. This is a guy that isn't chasing women around. This is a guy that is in there to learn and is dedicated to his craft." As opposed to with Deontay Wilder, the fighter that I trained was very close to Deontay as well. Deontay's a little bit more out there, a little bit more turned up. And I mean, even the fact that Russ Abner was with him for a good majority of his career, Russ Abner being a guy that has been around and has been an incredible trainer for a lot of people, and is sort of there in the background. I mean, it's kind of a thing that I always think about him. This is a guy that does the best hand wrap in the business. I mean, he did all of Sergio Martinez's hand wraps. When Sergio stopped doing business with Russ, Sergio stopped getting stoppages. I'm not saying this because of the hand wrap, but I'm saying, this is a man that's definitely one of the best rappers in the game. And an incredible trainer. With Deontay, I don't see that Deontay has that sort of work ethic. I mean, I was told that he only trained for a guy negative 6 times. I mean, this is, to be honest with you, I see why he would want to take the Stiverne fight again.
Whoa. What do you mean? Wait. What do you mean trained for Gallo Negro 6 times? I was in that camp, right?
This is what I was told.
No, I'm just saying, no. But are you listening? Are you listening to what I'm telling you? You were told something. I am telling you, me and Alex from TBV were in the camp. So how could he have only trained 6 times?
Well, no. Were you in the camp with him more than 6 times? I mean, if you're in the man's camp and you can say honestly, hey, look, this is a man that's dedicated to his craft.
Dude, I was in there. Listen, put it this way. Put it this way. I was in there long enough to watch him alternate to spar alternate sparring partners with 4 different fresh guys going 2 rounds each, totaling 8 rounds and more. That was just one day.
But then they worked the pads, right, with Mark Breland.
But that was just one day. And as far as Russ, you know, Russ is still in the camp, right? You know,
I was told that Russ was out of the camp 2 months ago. That Russ,
I would have, you know, I would have really liked for you to, you know, you would have almost got me if you would have said that Russ was out of the camp. I don't know, 2 months ago, because 10 months ago puts him in the Washington camp, which I visibly seen him there.
Yeah, but Russ
I have him on.
I
I have Russ. I have Russ. I have Russ. Right? I have Russ on camera in the Wilder camp for the Washington fight. He gave me even an interview.
Yeah, but I'm under the impression that Russ has been left, that has been now is no longer part of the camp. Is he still part of the camp?
Well, again, if you said 10 months ago, then your information is wrong because he was there for the Washington camp.
No, I know he was there for the Washington camp. I heard that Russ got pissed off because he felt that Deontay didn't train the way that Deontay should have trained for Joe Washington, and therefore afterwards was let go. This is what I was told. I'm sure those guys that he's working with, whether you know, the guys that he's sparring with, I'm not, you know, I'm Avery or whoever. I know who these guys are. It's not like it's a very small world, especially when they're saying, "Hey, look." Hey, listen, everybody knows too. And when people ask me about Deontay Wilder, I believe that Deontay Wilder can't be a champion for 10 years. Now, I'm not going to bullshit you. I mean, but he's not just. He's going to have to. These guys have to have an approach just like Leonard Lewis. They got to be dedicated to the craft. They have to be dedicated to wanting to be a legend. There's guys that have had the belts before, and we're not going to talk about them in the future. And there's guys that have had the belts that no matter what, hands down, everybody's going to say, this man is a legend. This man is cut from a different cloth. That's, you know, whether Anthony Joshua, I believe, has those sort of attributes, those sort of characteristics, is going to continue, you know, or he is going to be somebody that we're talking about in 10 years. That's fact. I can't look you dead in the eye and say, we'll be talking about Deontay 10 years from now.
All right, but listen, Sam Brano, I got to thank you, but I did give you more than the normal 3 minutes per round. What I will say is that is absolutely your opinion. I tried to give you 6 minutes to make a good case of how somehow only your set of eyes can tell the world that Joshua
not his eyes. There's inside info, man.
Somehow Joshua's work ethic
949 Cali number. You know, he called up Alabama, was like, yo, what's happening with Wilder's camp?
No, he said he trains, though. I think it's your mistake on the producer standpoint that you forgot. He called in before and said he's a trainer of somebody. Let's get him back on. I bet you he trained someone.
Yeah.
Who do you train again, my friend?
I mean, I trained.
I know when you called in. I know when you called in one time. You told me you were a trainer.
Like if I say who I train, these people have the guy that I train has a very close relationship with Deontay. I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to cause havoc for anybody. I'm just telling you that this is, you know, that this is.
No, I hear you, but we're just asking you, who do you train
or have trained?
Well, I trained Malik Scott.
Okay.
You know, that's why.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder's boy. Deontay Wilder's boy. Okay.
Yeah. I also know Avery Gibson. You know, and I don't know. It's not like one of these. You know, Avery's been one of the sparring partners forever. And I'm not saying anything. Everybody believes that Deontay could be a guy that could be champion for 10 years. I mean, but that's gonna come around with a mindset. I mean.
So you're saying Avery isn't the quality of a sparring partner that you would like to see a heavyweight champion in there with?
Avery's been an incredible to see Avery come. Avery's an incredible fighter. To see that's a man that learned on the job. I mean, this is to watch Avery come along and to know his journey in boxing. This is a guy that literally started boxing when he was a football player at the.
Man, I gotta cut you, man, because we got so many other callers. Look, I would love to go back and forth, but people are gonna say that it's my bias keeping you on forever. So I gotta keep it moving. Let's get to Larry from San Francisco.
Hey, big up to the Boxing Voice. It's been way too long, and I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I was entertained by that call. So thanks for letting them burn. Hey, when I first heard news about this fight on Twitter yesterday, I quote tweeted it with a smiley face because it brought a smile to my face. However, after listening to y'all and kind of thinking through, I don't see it happening, and I hope I'm wrong, but here's why. It makes sense to pay Bermane Stiverne step-aside money if you're going to go fight Anthony Joshua, or if you're going to go fight Tyson Fury, or even go fight Vladimir Klitschko. It does not make sense to pay Stiverne step-aside to go get in there with Ortiz, one, which is a dangerous fight for one, and two, it's not a lucrative fight. So Wilder would really, really have to not make a wise business move to go ahead and make that fight. As a fan, bring it on. I'll take it all day. Hope they put it on PBC and do it upright. But I don't see that happening for that reason. However, I've been wrong, I think, once before in my life. So this might be the second time. So we'll see. Other than that, glad to have y'all back. Hope everything's great. And I'm out.
Larry, man, always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Very quickly, shout out to shout out to Mazik Do for donating $10 on the YouTube Live donation feature, and Andre Diakonu for donating $2 as well.
No,
I'm
pretty sure that says mosquito.
Is that mosquito? Is just spelled like
it's got to be like mosquito in his own way, right? Like
I can see that. I can see the mosquito. That makes sense now. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and we got a ringer, by the way. We got Stainless from Nashville.
Oh snap! It's been a minute since we seen heard from the Stainless guy. Where is it?
Where is it? I don't know. I unmuted him. You better hurry up.
I won't deny it.
No, that's not it.
Come. Yo, I can't even. Wait.
Stainless, I'm sorry.
Dropping all types of balls. Pause. Right? For Jose. He's probably gonna press 1 now. Like, hey guys, pause, eh?
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me.
Stainless. Was Matt wrong?
No, this is Stainless's number.
He's busy.
Stainless, do you have yourself muted on accident?
Copy.
Oh no. Stainless.
Right. You dropping the ball, Matt.
Stainless text
404. You're live. 404. First time calling?
Yo, it's the Milkman.
Oh, what up, Milkman? Why is Matt dropping the ball?
Because I was talking and I got distracted.
Because he still has not done that Google Doc list.
I told y'all a long time ago. Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
All right, man. Coach Kirkland. Strap me up.
Who's next? I got milk, baby.
The Milkman is back, and so is TBV. In the words of Deontay Wilder, some fuck shit going on. I'm glad y'all are back. Give yourself a coin, baby. Give yourself a coin right now.
Yeah, find the coin.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I'm glad y'all are back. Hey, man, I agree 100% with Larry. Why pay Stiverne step-aside money to get in there with Ortiz? It's called prize fighting, so I'm all for him paying Stiverne step-aside money, go cash in that check to fight Joshua. But now, let's talk. Y'all was talking about James Prince a little bit earlier. And I don't know if y'all got into this, but James Prince comes from the street, and he has been notorious for doing a lot of gangster shit. Do y'all recall when there was an alleged incident when Floyd was with Bob Arum?
Yep. I remember that
contract with James Prince.
I remember that.
And James Prince sent over some goons to the gym and cracked some heads with some baseball bats. And Bob had to pay him $600 cash, cold hard cash, to get Floyd out of that contract. So just keep that in the back of your mind, man, when you see this guy around. You know, he's real laid back,
He the
southern
Suge
drawl,
Knight.
but James Prince is a gangster. So I'll leave you with that, and I'm out.
Milkman, thanks for calling in. Look, I was the first one to say he is the Suge Knight. Is that my guy Alex?
Well, very quickly, no, it's not Alex, and we got Stainless from Nashville calling back in.
You sound like you're stunting. That 559 is Alex. You're a stunner.
No, that's not Alex. First off, I'm going to Stainless.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, best podcast in the world, TBV. What's up, man?
What's up?
What's up, Stainless?
Man, it's so good to see you two got them shackles and restraints off of y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to watch, to sneak in some podcast shows when I'm at work, because that broadcast signal ain't, you know, what you need. It's just, I mean, everybody already, as usual, everybody already saying anything that I would have to say. You know what I'm saying? It's good to hear the debate. But I just wanted to say, welcome back, man. I'm happy that they couldn't keep y'all down. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy, and thank you for the border wars in the meantime, because it was good to see. I'm not gonna leak any of the winners for those who ain't watched it yet, but shout out to the winners, and shout out to everybody who participated, man, because that was some good ass shit to watch. That's all I wanted to say, man. Welcome back, man. I love you guys, man. TBV family, what's up? Chat fam, what's up? I'm off today, so you know what I'm saying. This was like destiny or meant. It's, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I'm gonna enjoy that. Sit back, enjoy my blunt, and listen to everybody. Going to get their opinions in, man. So y'all get back to it. And as I say with every podcast, please make sure that you push the thumbs up and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. Fellas, man, peace, man. I'll see y'all soon enough.
Stainless, definitely. And I know I've said this on many occasions, but we're gonna put the ball in Matt's corner. As soon as this one is done, we're trying to come back with that Danny Garcia Porter to discuss that, and Porter's Instagram call out, WBC's mandatory interim fight for the two since Thurman is hurt. And we're looking to do that immediately after this one. We're going out to the 559, who Matt says is not Alex. Who are you? What's up? First time caller?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, brother? Who's this? Where you calling from? First time caller?
Hey, my name is Bob. Yeah, my name is Bob. I'm from Fresno.
Bob from Fresno. What's up, brother? Talk to us.
Yeah. Yeah. When it comes to blows to the head, how do you guys fare against each other? And my second follow-up question is, do you guys shower together by any chance? And what is it like?
Bye, Bob.
Bob. Wow.
You actually gave your name and called in on a number that we now know.
He actually prank called with his number. Did he forget to
He
press
must
the block? Weirdo face. Well, that made the job easier. Final thoughts are, I'm with Trey.
Whoa. You forgot one caller.
Who?
Ernest.
Oh, shit. Go to him. Ernest from...
Oh, Ernest left. Ernest. Damn, Ness.
Call him back. You got the numbers, B.
Well, I think Sal, young Mike, just called in as well. I'm going off pure memory of your number. Sal, is that you?
Yo. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Man, first off, man, I just want to say welcome back. I really missed you guys, bro. I did start going through withdrawals, like I told you guys on the Patreon.
Let me go ahead and put my little Patreon plug in real quick. For those who don't have it and were unfortunate to go dry from TVB, man, I really recommend you guys get that Patreon, get up on game, because they do have content in there that a lot of people haven't seen. So go ahead and get that. See some fights of our boys putting in some work, some not. I'm not going to say who, but either way, man, it takes real men to step in there, lace up them gloves, man. So once again, thank you guys for that. I can't wait to see the other fights. And yeah, man. I mean, real quick, I just wanted to put on the subject. I feel like, man, all these Wilder haters need to start putting some respect on that man's name, bro. I mean, they keep on saying bump squad, they keep on saying this, but someone please stop me when you can tell me somebody that Wilder has blatantly ducked. And don't come at me with Luis Ortiz back in the day because that man was pissing dirty. Don't do that because that's not, come on, bro. You know he's not going to fight you. That's just, come on. No champion is going to fight another man if he had something in his blood like that. So don't come at me with that. Put some respect on that man's name. Wilder is the one heavyweight champion. Let me say elite, because I know there's a lot of guys like Big Baby Miller and stuff like that always calling everybody out. But Wilder's the one champion that always calls everybody out. Every champion always talking about unifying. I never hear Joshua say that shit at all. And I'm not hating on Joshua because I love Joshua. I'm not saying you don't hear Joseph Parker saying that. You seen like a few months ago, Wilder was consistently calling out Joseph Parker. You don't got to fight. I don't got to fight. Let's make it happen. And what happened? Nah, he went for Fury. Like, come on, bro. Put some respect on that man's name. That's all I got to say, man. TVD, stand up. I'm going to be listening to the next show. I think you guys say you guys going to have one right after this. So I'm going to be tuning in, man. I'm a little sick. My throat's a little fucked up. But, hey, man, like I said, welcome back, guys. Much love. That's my call.
Thank you, Sal, for calling in. Real quick, want to give a quick shout out to my man Jeffrey. Been riding out with us for a long time and just signed up to Patreon. So go ahead and enjoy them fights, my man. Appreciate the support. We're going out to the 931. You're up. Who's this?
This Ernest, man.
Ernest, thanks for calling back, bro. I didn't notice you were there.
Yeah, no problem. Deontay is driving us crazy down here in North Alabama, South Tennessee, man. Deontay should have had these fights already lined up, man. Stiverne's not, man. I mean, I really don't know what to say. You got to fight Stiverne anyway. Go ahead and send him to the hospital and fight Ortiz. I mean, back in the days, heavyweight champions had two fight deals, man. You weren't signing one fighter at a time. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, if you fight here in Alabama during football season, you're not gonna get the pub. Okay, you had all summer to get fights going on, man. I mean, football season coming up. They're not gonna pay boxing any attention down here. They're just not. That's my take, man.
Well, all right. Ernest, thanks for calling in, brother. I want to thank you, obviously, for participating in the show. I want to thank everyone that called in and everyone that obviously wished us a good welcome back. I want to say, shout out from the Hipster, who has dropped off for a moment, had to take care of some personal things in the back. We will be back with the Danny Garcia and the Sean Porter show immediately. Give us about, I don't know, man, I'd say maybe a 30-minute buffer in between to get everything situated for the next one. But there's a lot of boxing to talk. We're back, and we definitely want to discuss it. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Follow us on Patreon.com, ThaBoxingVoice/ThaBoxingVoice for more exclusive. You can catch our other podcast, Untitled, there, and our other podcast called Overtime, where we discuss numerous takes. We just were talking a little bit of the Planet of the Apes the other day, and obviously some music. So head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. And like Matt told you, man, if you're going to be doing any shopping and you want to support TBV, it costs you absolutely nothing. Amazon is not going to charge you anything more. In fact, they're going to thank you for using our link and give us a kickback. You'll be supporting your own favorite podcast by heading on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliates sponsors. And we definitely appreciate the support. Once again, thank you, everyone, for joining. We'll see you on the next episode.